Decandio and Danny Jessup. They're in the middle of game number 3, so we join this one in progress. Winding Constrictor is going to come across here for 2 for Brennan. We did a deck tech with him, so hopefully we'll have the opportunity to see that soon. Yeheni's Expertise is going to kill the creatures on the board. And now a land enters the battlefield tap. So actually, unfortunately for Decandio, nothing to follow up with off of that Yeheni's Expertise as we go over to Danny Jessup. Spell Queller the draw, and Jessup will simply pass the turn back over to Decandio. Decandio will draw. Natural State in hand, among other things here for Brennan. Gonna fire up a Hissing Quagmire. Looking to come in here for 2 with the creature land. That'll work. Jessup gonna fall down to 14, it appears. The other card in Jessup's hand right now is Gideon to go along with that Spell Queller. So his hand is pretty good, and he's got some clues to sacrifice. So he'll start by sacrificing 1 clue. Picked up another copy of Heart of Kiran. Not great in multiples, we know that.
I was about to say, well, now it's a little bit better with Natural State on the first Heart of Kiran.
Sure.
I was about to say, I'm sort of skeptical of 4x Heart of Kiran.
It's a lot.
That is something I have noticed covering the tournament so far this weekend.
Here is a Gideon. Ally of Zendikar. So here's a weird question. Old Sky Skiff. Is it too?
Is it just too crappy?
Yeah, is it too bad?
I think it might. I am very. I play.
You play bad. You play garbage.
Yeah, I play it all. I mean, I'm not picky. I think it might be too bad.
Yeah. I mean, drawing the second Heart of Kiran in a lot of instances is pretty rough. Here's a To the Slaughter.
I go deep. I think this is too bad. I think Aethersphere Harvester is the way to split up.
All right.
If you're trying to do that sort of thing. If you want to get a crew 1 at a non-embarrassing rate, you can do it that way.
To the Slaughter with Delirium took care of Gideon and the Knight Ally. Now here's Rishkar, Pima Renegade. It's got a +1/+1 counter, so it's a 3/3 and it can tap to add a green mana. Decandio with just 1 card left in hand. For Jessup, a Thraben Inspector is going to bring along a clue. And Jessup will pass the turn back with Spell Queller still at the ready. 1 card that I will say, as here comes Hissing Quagmire and Rishkar, that has certainly gotten an uptick is To the Slaughter.
Yes.
Looks to be a really good card is here Spell Queller. Spell Queller is going to look to trade with the Hissing Quagmire, I believe.
He can try to double up on Rishkar, but that is a dangerous block.
Yeah. So the creature land will trade with the Spell Queller. Rishkar will come across for 3. And Decandio says, let me check my sideboard really quickly here. Make sure I know my configuration for my deck. All right, pass the turn back. Jessup will draw. Picked up a Concealed Courtyard. We'll start by sacrificing a clue. Draw a card. Picked up an island. There's Heart of Kiran. Play the Concealed Courtyard into the battlefield tap. Now we go back over to Decandio. Decandio will draw Mind Rack Demon.
Big draw on this spot.
Big creature. So in the deck to come, I only know this because I did it with Brennan at the end of yesterday. He said Mind Rack Demon is very well positioned right now. Beats Heart of Kiran in combat because it's 4/5, and its stats are where you want to be. Keep in mind, flying a big deal as well. He said this card has been great for him, better than it was in the previous standard format because Reflector Mage was in that format.
Exactly. This is another one of those mid-range threats without much in the way of immediate value that becomes a lot better without Reflector Mage and to a lesser extent Emrakul not being in the format.
Jessup will sacrifice his last clue. He'll draw a card. He has a Plains and an Island and a Mystery card in hand right now, does Danny.
Even Smuggler's Copter is part of that equation too, because Smuggler's Copter means that your blue-white flash opponent finds more copies of Reflector Mage over the course of the game than they otherwise would, which compounds the problem with threats like Mind Rack Demon.
Decandio will draw. Both these players more or less playing on the top of their deck. Jessup had a slight advantage with the clues, but those are gone now. Now the question is, how will Decandio manage this Mind Rack Demon? You know, when you're playing against kind of the flash strategy that Jessup is bringing to the table, there's not a ton of flash, but there's enough that maybe it makes an attack a little bit worrisome.
And he doesn't have to worry about the implications of Avacyn right now.
Not yet.
Very easy attack.
Jessup is going to get back a Scrap Heap Scrounger. He'll have to exile a creature from the graveyard. He will exile Thraben Inspector. Now we go back over to Danny, and he will draw a card. And it's a Plains to go with a Metallic Rebuke. another Plains. So he will play a Plains right now.
Really bad news for Jessup here as he basically has to chump block the Mind Rack Demon.
Mm-hmm. But more importantly, what that means is Decandio can start attacking with that Rish card now.
Yep. Still might be a little risky if you're in Decandio's seat to make an all-out attack here because he's got mana up and who really knows. I kind of like testing the waters with the Mind Rack Demon. You're going to find out if anything's up in that spot.
That's what he's going to do. He's just going to send in the 4/5 Flying Trampler. Crew the Heart of Kirin. There's a block.
It's one of those situations where if Jessup's got nothing going on, you can give him the turn. And if he does have something, you're probably happier leaving your Rish card back on defense.
A Prairie Stream, a Plains, and Metallic Rebuke, and that is going to do it. Brennan Decandio is going to win this match here over Danny Jessup. 2-1. Black-Green Delirium will take care of Esper Aggro, and for Decandio, 9-1.
That's a party foul right there from Jessup.
What's that?